Hey everybody, welcome back to CNV Vlogs. So today is going to be a makeup slash get ready slash story time with me. So it's going to be my first time actually getting ready on camera and also telling a story. So I'm very excited. I hope that I don't stutter too much or get too sidetracked because this story is going to be kind of interesting and it just kind of brings me back and it gets like, I don't know. It's an interesting story. I'm pretty sure by now y'all seen by the title what the story time's gonna be about. And I also want to make a disclaimer if I seem like I'm out of breath or if I just like need to take a break or I pass out, it's because I am waist training at the moment. So I'm just kidding. I won't pass out, but yeah, so I do have like a little corset going on right now and it's been working. Highly recommend. I get it at Walmart. The story we're going to be talking about today is going to be an Esthetician edition, Worst Client. And I'm thinking I'm going to make this a series also on my channel because I don't know, like I have had quite a few clients in the past that are kind of difficult and I think it would make interesting stories. So I'm going to be making a couple of these videos and I hope you guys enjoy them because they're kind of entertaining. I have already done my eyebrows, you can tell, and I've put my moisturizer on and all that jazz. So we're pretty much just going to go straight into foundation. And if you are curious to anything that I use, I'm probably going to leave everything down below. I'm going to have to like focus on the story time. So this is going to be taking me all the way back to when I worked. I'm not going to say exactly where I worked at, but it was a... how should I say? I want to say it without saying it, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't really want to affiliate with this company anymore, just for personal reasons. But yeah, I worked at this place and I was pretty much the girl that had to be responsible for waxing services. And so as y'all know, in my past videos, I believe I posted one where I mentioned I wax at home and I do my eyebrows at home and stuff. It's because I am an esthetician and my profession is more into waxing and facials and like stuff like that. At this place that I worked at, I was the girl that pretty much took care of like the waxing, and it was just face waxing. It wasn't like all over body, but it was pretty fun working there while it lasted. Of course it had its moments, but what job doesn't? So I had worked there for a while and it was a new store because I had moved stores because I had a car accident and I needed to find a job closer because I didn't have like a way of getting to work. But yeah, so like it was probably like summertime, so like all the people were kind of getting out of school and like all the parents were like not having to like wake up all early. So there's a lot of parents that were coming in around this time because they like had, I guess, free time. Oh, I almost said the name. So it did kind of pick up a lot more during this time and I was a lot more busy than usual. And so I had one day like I think it was like back-to-back bookings and I had to kind of hurry throughout my services and stuff. And so I had this one lady come in and she was very nice like right away. And I mean, she wasn't like super friendly, but she wasn't like completely rude where I've had like other experiences with people like that. But she wasn't so rude. She was just kind of more like, I don't know, like attitude, kind of like, I don't know how to say it, but you know, like a cocky attitude, like where you just like, you think you're the ish and like whatever and you're cool or whatever. I don't know, you know, those people that think they're too cool for school. But she just had that attitude and I don't mind that because I was used to dealing with all kinds of characters, you know. And so I pretty much asked her what she wanted to do that day and she told me that she had eyelashes that she had bought somewhere else and she wanted me to put them on her. And that was part of like what I did over there, except that usually whenever I had to do that, they had to be purchased from that store, and she had like bought them like at another store and brought and brought them with her that day and told me or asked me if I could like put them on. And judging by like the way she was, I kind of was like not trying to get on her bad side, you know, like I didn't want to upset her. So I told her that I had to talk to my manager because like they usually tell me like they have to purchase it from that store in order for me to be able to put it on and all that jazz. And so I did. I stepped away and I brought my manager back with me, and they ended up making a deal. But the way my manager like kind of spoke to her was kind of condescending, you know, so she was kind of like,
yeah, even though we do sell this brand here, you are technically supposed to buy it at the store in order for her to put them on you, but I guess I'll just let it slide since we do sell the brand here, so I guess you could just put them on.
But she was like, just, I don't know, she just talked to her like super rude, and I kind of like felt bad because I was like trying to, you know, like I said, keep her like in a happy mood and everything. And the lady was just like, she kind of just sat there and looked at her like, oh gee, how cool of you to do for me. And she just like, I don't know, like I can totally tell that her mood like got switched, you know. So I was kind of like, oh gosh, now I'm gonna have to deal with her, like, and she's already like in a bad mood. The manager kind of like left, and she was just like and walked off, but she didn't walk far off. She like literally stood like around the counter like where I worked and pretty much like watched me do the whole entire service, and that was also like very uncomfortable. And I think the lady noticed that she was watching her or watching me, you know, perform that service, and she kind of like felt uncomfortable, and then she kind of stopped. Like I was in the middle of like taking off the eyelashes, and she like stopped me, and she's all like,
is there a reason you gotta watch her do this? Like, is she in training or something? Is this her first day?
And I just looked at her and I was like, no, it's not my first day. I've been working here for quite a while already, so I'm not in training. You know, get that out there. Like, don't worry, like I got you, girl. Like, I'm not a rookie, you know. And she looked at me, she's like,
I ain't talking to you, I'm talking to her.
And I was just kind of like, oh my god. And so the manager, she was
like, oh, I'm just making sure she knows what she's doing.
Are you challenging me?
Which was first of all rude, because I've been working there. She knows that I knew what I was doing. I think honestly she was just trying to get on her nerves even worse because she feels like she did her a favor. It was just like irritating. And then she was just starting to take out her attitude on me, which is not okay, because, you know, you're supposed to be cool with the people you work with and make it feel comfortable and all that stuff. But everyone knows that when you work at this certain store, that doesn't really happen that often. Like, people are very rude sometimes. And then knowing me, I'm usually very uncomfortable in these kinds of situations because I get really nervous. Not confrontational at all. I usually like to be the peacemaker, make sure everybody's happy and like comfortable, but my manager at the time was not having it with this lady. I don't know if she was just like put off by her attitude or if she was just trying to get on our nerves, but it just wasn't helping. And so since I was like so like, I guess, tense and uncomfortable, I was starting to take off, you know how like you get new lashes and they are in the case and you're supposed to peel it off, of, you know, when you get it new, like how they come, how they come in these little things and then you're supposed to peel it off of the little rounded part. So since I was so nervous, I ended up trying too hard, and I had nails at the time too, and so it kind of made it a little bit more like difficult. You know, you have to be extra careful. And I go and I like start peeling it off of the thing, and I freaking tore her lash in half. And luckily it was like a multi-pack, so she had other pairs, but I tore it in half. And whenever that happened, I literally felt like my stomach dropped to my butt because I already knew she was upset, and how her like personality was, it was very vocal. And so I was just getting ready for her to like go off on me, and so like I looked at her and I was like, oh my god, like I'm so sorry, and she was just like,
it's okay, just use the other one.
And that like literally blew my mind because I literally thought she was gonna yell at me. And so I ended up just like apologizing like 10,000 times because I felt so bad because she was already having an awful experience, and like I just made it worse because I'm clumsy like that. And so I was just apologizing, and then I started to get the other one even more careful, and luckily that one came out. And so like I started, you know, putting on her lashes and everything. And I told her, you know how like whenever you have like the glue that you're supposed to like not, oof, sorry, you're not supposed to like open your eye, like at least whenever you do it on other people. I prefer them to keep their eye like downwards, not closed, because you could glue their eyes shut, but I usually tell them to like look down and like don't look up, because then sometimes like the lash will like come off and it will stick on their eyelid. And so I specifically remember telling her that she should, if she could please like just look down to the side or whatever, and so that I could place them on and they could come on or go on evenly. And so she does that, and then like right whenever I'm about to go put her second lash on, like I literally like was gonna put it on, and she looks at me like that, and she's like,
wait, let me see what it looks like first before I even have you put the other one on, because what if I don't like it?
and I was like, okay. And in my head I was like, you bought these lashes though for me to put them on, so obviously you like them because you wouldn't have bought them, you know what I mean? So I just kind of like went with the flow, and I was like, yeah, sure, like no problem, like I'll give you a mirror. And so like I had to walk across, not even that far, like maybe like 10 steps away for me to go look for a mirror, because we kept them in drawers. And then like whenever I get back, or like I'm not even like that far, so I could like see her in my chair. And so like I'm looking at her, and then I just see her going like she's on like the little desk going like that, and she was just shaking her leg all like, she was like getting so impatient. I was like literally gone for maybe like a minute looking for the mirror, and it wasn't even that long even, but she was just so impatient and like rushing me kind of, and she kept like looking at me like hurry up, you know. And so I got so uncomfortable, and I just got the mirror and I showed it to her, and I was like, here you go, like you can look at yourself, check it out, see if you like it. And she goes and she looks at herself, and she's all like, for literally like 3 minutes, like it felt like forever, unless I was just nervous and it felt like ages. But she was literally just like critiquing it, like to like make sure, I guess, like I did them like straight. And like I'm pretty good at lashes because I wore them every day like around that time, and so I knew what I was doing. And but she was all just like looking, just like, and I literally was just like looking at her, just like like, yeah, they're on there, you know. But I wasn't saying anything because, you know, not trying to ruin her life even more, because she was acting like everyone was just out to get her. But yeah, so she was just doing that, and I was just like, okay, like enough's enough. So I got kind of like, I don't know, I guess to like rush her a little bit. Like I was like, oh yeah, so they look pretty good, huh? Don't you like them? And she's like,
They're okay.
and so I was like, okay. And I was like, do you want me to put the other one on, or do you want to go pick another pair? Like, is this like what you wanted? And she just looks at me, she's like, just
Put the other one on.
and I looked at her and I was like, okay. And I didn't even say anything because I was just already getting uncomfortable, because first of all, I didn't do anything to like make her feel like I'm against her or anything. Like if anything, I was trying to make her feel comfortable. So I kind of was put off by that, because I was over here trying to be on her side and help her out, but she's over here disrespecting me like that. And I was kind of like angry. Like I was starting to get kind of heated. And so like I remember just like saying, not even saying anything, and like just looking at her and being like, and so I told her just to close her eye, or not close her eye, but like, you know, do the other one and look down and all that jazz. And so I told her like not to open her eye, like open it, like look up or whatever. And literally right after I said don't look up, she's like this, and she looks at me dead like in the eyes. And I was just like, and I was like, oh, don't look up, like I don't want you to ruin them, like I don't want you to get glue on your eyelid. Or I said something like that, like to make it sound like I was looking out for her, but really I was just looking out for myself, so I didn't have to fix it. But like I told her, I was like, oh no, don't look up. And then she was like,
Well, aren't you done?
and I was like, yeah, but the glue has to dry, like, you know. anybody that wears lashes knows that you have to wait for the glue to dry in order for you to like finish everything else. And so I was just like, no, like the glue has to dry, like I am done applying them onto you, but we do have to wait for the glue to dry, you know, like just give it a couple seconds, you know, it will be done really fast. And she's all like,
oh my god, like why are you taking so long just to put lashes on?
and I was like I was trying to like keep my cool, you know, professional, you know, whatever, because I'm at work. And so I was like, oh,
I apologize if I'm taking longer than you were assuming that I was going to take, but I did my best, and I'm sorry if you felt like I was taking too long, but I'm almost done. We're just waiting for it to dry, and you could be on your way.
and then she just like looked at me and she's like, oh my god. And then she just starts sitting there and she like literally closes her eye. And like I said in the beginning, guys, you don't close your eyes whenever you put your lashes on. I'm not even doing my makeup. Oh my god. Let me finish this and then I'll come back because there's a lot more to talk about and I'm just sitting here talking. Okay, I had to do my face stuff and now that's done. Now we're moving on to eyeshadow. Let's get back into the story. Okay, so I left off whenever I told her not to close her eye completely, and that's like what I was trying to get at you guys, like before I even told this, so y'all kind of know that whenever you close your eye, you have more high chance of gluing your lashes on the top and the bottom together. So that's not good, especially whenever it's on a client, because they literally panic every time. And I remember when I first started doing it that I was so traumatized, like whenever I did it, like I did it like 3 times, like not even lying, and they were like so scared that like I was gonna rip their lashes and all this stuff, and I was too because I didn't like know any better. And I just remember always like panicking and I was like, God, I'm so sorry, forgive me. So that's why every time I got into a ritual of saying don't close your eyes completely, just look down so that I could see your upper eyelashes. And I literally told her that whenever I started doing it. She knew that I've been repeating this throughout the time I was on like doing her eyelashes. So she was aware that this was, I guess, like an instruction, you know, like don't close your eyes. This girl closes her eyes whenever I tell her just to wait for the glue to dry. So the glue is not dry yet. So she closes her eyes and looks down, and I can tell she closes her eye because you can't see her eyeball at all. And so I was like, do I tell her? Because she's already getting mad because I'm telling her what to do and stuff. So I was like, oh my god. And I was like, okay, like let me see if they're done. Couldn't even like say anything. Like, you know, I acted like I didn't see her like close her eye or anything because I was like cleaning up at the same time. So she looks up at me, except only one eye looks up at me. And she's all like that. And she's like,
I can't open my eye. Why can't I open my eye? And I was
just like, oh no, like you must have shut your eye completely whenever you're waiting for the glue to dry. And so she looks
at me, she's like, what'd you do? I can't open my eye, my lashes are gonna tear.
And she's like, but she's like saying this like super loud, and I was just, it's okay, like don't worry about it, like we'll fix it, like just relax your eyes and I'm just gonna go ahead, because what you have to do is like you kind of have to like pry them open slowly, which is very like stressful because you don't know what's gonna happen next. You don't know if the lashes are gonna come off, stay on perfectly, or if their lashes are gonna tear. Like it's unexpected what's gonna happen next. And so I kind of just told her like, just relax, like it's okay, I'll fix it, like let me just take a look at them a little bit closely. And so like she goes and she's all just like sitting there kind of like impatient, and she's like shaking her legs like this, and like where she's like going up and down, and I was like, oh, like can you sit still, I don't want to rip your lashes off. And
she's all like, what do you mean, why should I sit still, I'm the one uncomfortable, I'm the one, like, and
she's like with one eye
closed and she's like, I'm uncomfortable, how am I supposed to relax and sit still?
And I was like, well, it helps me a lot if you do sit still so I could do it faster. Or I like said it something like that. And she was just like, oh my god, like I can't believe you did this, this is so stupid, like oh my gosh, I shouldn't be having to deal with this. And I was like, I'm sorry, like I told you not to close your eyes like 500 times. But you know, the customer's always right in the end, like no matter what happens really. So I told her, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, but this is why I kept repeating to you not to close your eye. Like, it's gonna be okay though. Like, I'm gonna get it taken off. Like, and everything's gonna be fine. Like, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. And so she just like gets all impatient and like whatever, and like for like a couple minutes, and even it wasn't, thank God, not stuck too bad, so like I easily like kind of like pried it open and everything, and so like she was set free. And so finally, like, I finished and everything, and I told her, okay, you're all done, like, here's a mirror, check yourself out, tell me if you like it or not. And she just gets the mirror and she like looks and she's all like, yeah, whatever, they're good. And I was like, okay, well, here's your ticket, like, you just go to the register and you could pay up there. And so like gets out, like, and she goes to pay, and so I was like, oh, okay, like that was like, so like my shoulders were like tight like the whole entire time of that service. But this isn't the end of it. So she goes to pay, and next thing you know, like, I hear yelling at the register. I was like, oh my God, she's like reporting me, or like I don't know what she's telling them up there. And I just hear yelling, but I can't really make out what she was saying because I was like kind of far from the registers. And so like I just hear her going off like up there, and so I kind of was worried like what the heck's going on. And but that's like, whenever you leave my counter, that's none of my business. Whatever happens after this, you could talk to the manager. I'm done with your service, therefore I don't really have to, you know, speak to you unless it's something serious, you know. And so I just kind of stayed there, and I started cleaning my area up and everything. And then next thing you know, she goes away from the registers and she goes back into the store. So she doesn't like go to the registers out the door, she goes to the registers, yells up there, and then she starts walking through the whole entire store. She's over here at every, because there's like counters in the store, like wherever like you can like test out makeup on yourself, or you can like just, you know, try out things on your face. So there's mirrors, tissues, little applicators, like stuff like that. She goes walking to each one, and starts like doing things. Like, I can't tell because I'm just sitting at my counter, like just, you know, kind of observing from afar, but like not really dealing with her because there's girls over there that take care of that area, and that's not my job. So I kind of just observed from far, acting like I was busy, but I was still like watching her. And she never came to my counter again. She was just like going to each of those little stations and just like doing stuff. She's putting little makeups on her face and all that stuff. And then like whenever she got a little bit closer to where I was, I noticed that her whole face was beat. She literally like put a full face of makeup on with, I guess, like whatever she was testing out at those little, you know, sample, or those little, I don't even know what they're called anymore, it's been so long, but at those little counters she like pretty much put her whole face on. And then whenever she was done, she like kind of passed by me and she like looked at me, and then she just like looked off, but she didn't like be rude or anything, and she went straight out the door. And I was just kind of like, what the heck? That was weird. While she was at these little counters, like I forgot to mention that she was literally like slamming things around. Like you just hear like you would hear stuff like that. And that's why I was watching her, because I was like, what if she like breaking things, you know? But I didn't know what was going on, and so I just heard her like slamming stuff around. And then she'd walk to the next one and she'd be all like just making a bunch of obnoxious noises. And the stores is not that big, so of course like that's gonna carry throughout the stores. So of course everybody was pretty much uncomfortable because they heard and saw her doing all these things, except I didn't know what was going on. So at the end of it, whenever she had walked out the door, I went up to my friend and that works in that area, and I was like, hey, like what happened with that? Like what was she doing? Because she was being super loud. Like I was just curious. And so they go and tell me that pretty much she had a coupon that was expired, and she was trying to get the service for free that I did on her.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
And so I was kind of like, okay, if it isn't enough that we weren't even supposed to do that service on her because she didn't buy those lashes at the store, and so pretty much we were doing her a little favor already, and she's still trying to get it for free. So I told her, I was like, are you serious? Like, are you really kidding? Like, okay. And so they said that she couldn't use it because it was expired. They couldn't do anything about it, and she threw a fit up there, saying that she didn't say anything about me, but she was just talking with the manager, like saying how she was rude, and she was just like watching the whole service. She's not even working, and like she's not even doing her job, and she should be like taking care of this place better because it's a mess and all this stuff. And I was kind of like, she better not be talking about my counter, because I am a proud cleaning girl, you know, like I always make sure everything's looking right, organized and clean. So I was like, she's not talking about my counter. I know that's for a fact. You could go look at it right now. It's sparkly, squeaky clean. Like you could wipe it with the white glove. It's clean. So
hey, that's pretty good.
I kind of like was offended, but not really, because I knew like my stuff is clean. And so basically she went and threw a fit because they weren't giving her service for free, and she paid for it, of course, and surprisingly left a tip. I remember that. And I was like, okay, like she's not mad at me at least, you know, because I really didn't do anything. I was just doing my job. Being too distracted. This is hard. I knew it was going to be hard, but you know what? It's fun because I get to tell a funny story. So they're saying that she didn't get anything off. She paid and everything. And then she goes and walks to all those little counters. And literally, like, I went and walked with my friend because she was showing me. She was all like, come on, come see what she did. Now I have to clean up after her mess. And so I was like, okay, like, let's go. And so we go and walk. And we're going through the store. And I'm looking at everything. Oh my god. Like, tell me how you get so much makeup all over a white counter. And obviously you can tell whenever you dirty a white surface, because, like, you know, makeup is makeup. You know, you can't even hug somebody without getting makeup on their shirt. It transfers super easy
And it stains.
So she literally like made a mess. And mind you, there's two sides on these counters. There's a front and a back, like, because it's a double-sided mirror and a counter on both ends. So she made a mess on both sides on every counter. There's probably like 6 counters, but still times 2, because there's 2 sides. That's 12 little counter things that my friend had to go clean. Literally, there was foundation smudged all over. There was purple lipstick smudged everywhere. There was like eyebrow stuff, like, and she didn't even pick up after herself. She didn't even like put back whatever she was testing out. She literally like tried things on and threw them, and then threw them and threw them, and like the whole counter like had everything that she was trying on the counter. And so it was like just a hot mess. Like, I felt so bad for my friend because she had to really like clean up all that stuff. She was in a mood. Okay, so that was pretty much that. That was one of the worst clients that I have had as an esthetician this far. I'm saying that because I'm still an esthetician, obviously, so I'm probably going to be dealing with some more difficult people, you know, in my future, but that was one of the top worst ones. But yeah, after that we pretty much didn't ever see her again. Never came back, which is kind of okay with me. That's gonna wrap up this story time. I am all ready. Thank you guys so much for watching if you made it all the way to the end, and thank you for being there to listen to my little story time. If you have any opinions regarding this lady and how her behavior was, do you think it was right for her to act that way? Or if you were in my shoes, what would you have done? Honestly, and be honest, because I'm kind of curious, because I think I did a pretty good job. I stayed calm and patient, zen, you know, but that's pretty much it. Please give this video a big like to show some please give this video a big like to show some support that you guys enjoyed this video, because I really liked making it. It's pretty fun, although I did get distracted a couple times. But anyways, there's gonna be a lot more videos like this coming once a week at least, so subscribe if you want to see those. I might do another one of these of a worst client that I've had as an esthetician. And yeah, so subscribe to see that video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!